Hello guys, I am back to review TNA the whole effing show. And I'd just like to say before I start, this was 3 hours, so I want more time to talk about it. But before I start, I would like to say this truly was the whole effing show. It was great. But anyway, so we had the opener of Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles. Great match. You'd expect it from these two. A phenomenal match. Could have possibly been given more time, but they were given about 7 to 8 minutes, which, is long enough to have a decent, solid match. AJ hit a move that I haven't seen him use in a while in this match. The one where he leapfrogs over the top rope onto the second rope of the opposite corner, backflips on it, and it's a Stinger-style DDT. It was a really good match. AJ tapped out in the end. The only thing I was thinking when I watched this, but when it panned out, I didn't think that. But when I watched this, I thought, how great would this have been if AJ had won this match, and with an interference from Fortune? And I were thinking at the time that would have been not only a great way to shock people, but for Fortune to get over properly as a heel group. If Fortune interrupted the match, AJ won, and then beat down Kurt Angle afterwards, I thought that'd have been a pretty good idea. Anyway, next match, we had Angelina Love versus Madison Rayne. Announcement team say that Lacey's out for several weeks with a broken cheekbone because of what happened last week. Reading in between the lines probably means that the TNA officials, whoever they are, Hogan Bischoff, got a good look at Lacey last week in a match, realised that she pretty much is not up to par, even though she's improving, and decided that she needs more time to train and refine her skills in the ring. Anyway, the match itself was it was fairly decent. I can't complain much, and I've complained a lot about what TNA have done about with the Knockouts division just lately, but I can't complain much about this match. Angelina Love, always you get a good solid performance from Madison Rayne. I have to admit, I did doubt Madison's wrestling ability, but since she's been champion, she's actually been a very good champion, and I do like her as champion. Or I did, until Angelina Love beat it off her tonight. But anyway, the biker chick comes down during this. Velvet Sky chairs her from behind. Madison Rayne hits Angelina with the belt, gets a close 3. Angelina recovers, ends up hitting, I can't remember what you call it. I know kicks the Botox injection, but I don't know what that's called. And gets the 3 count. At the end of the match, Velvet Sky is nodding and smiling. Angelina Love. Very little to complain about in this match, so I'm not gonna. Anderson versus Pope versus Morgan in the triple threat. This was the worst match of the night, which shocked me a bit. It was way too short for one. It just, the wrestling, the action in it wasn't great. The wrestling in it wasn't great. And yeah, like I say, I think the time on it, the time they gave it, I think didn't do it justice. But it's obviously going to break off into separate feuds after this. So see how it goes. I'll see where it goes. Morgan gets the win after Anderson hits a mic check on the Pope. Goes for the cover. Uh, yeah. Sorry, I lost myself there. Goes for the cover. Morgan boots him off and then pins Pope for 3. Next match is Jeff Hardy's Open Challenge, which was answered by Shannon Moore. At the time, I was a bit puzzled by this, but Shannon did a promo before it saying he's going to take his chance to show that he can go with the best. And, some people are going to look at it and think this is such a letdown, but what are the alternatives? I mean, I was hoping for Shelton Benjamin, but seeing as he signed up with Ring of Honor for whatever that pay-per-view is that they do, Death by Honor or Dishonor or whatever, I don't really know what it's called. And yeah, so it won't likely going to be. So the other alternative was going to be the Hurricane, Shane Helms, and I'm not a big fan of him. I don't see TNA have actually signed him, which I don't see why, because I don't see what he brings to any division in TNA, especially the X division. The original X division guys that TNA had, Daniel, Sanjay Dutt, Petey Williams, were in a league of their own compared to the WWE X division guys that came over. So yeah, I don't know why. But anyway, this was a really good little match, which, it may surprise some people, not me, because I'm a fan of Shannon Moore. I think he can do a decent job in the ring. So yeah, it was a good match. Anyway, next match. Come on. Fair Money versus the Motor City Machine Guns in a 2 out of 3 falls. Last of the best of 5 series. Match of the year, very possibly, very very possibly. I mean, I was like this for most of the match. I mean, I wrote little to zero notes on this match because I could not take my eyes off the screen. It was fucking phenomenal. It really was great. It was fast. It was brilliant chemistry between the two. Action every stop. It never took a break. You know, it was. I can't do it justice by telling you. Only thing I can say, guys, is please, if you're a TNA fan, if you're a wrestling fan, it doesn't matter. You must watch this match. Seriously, you must watch this match. If you hate TNA, doesn't matter. Watch the match. Don't think of the company. Just watch what's going on in the ring. And it was incredible. And the Guns got a pyro afterwards, which was well deserved. And nice to see that TNA giving them the pyro also, which is basically an endorsement of, you know, they back these guys, which is great. Anyway, it takes on to the main event, which not many matches on this to say it were pay-per-view standards, but most of them did get good time, and also they have to, you know, filter in the advert breaks as well with it being on mainstream. So main event RVD versus Abyss. It was another great match. Abyss did botch a couple of spots early on with a ladder, but it was only one or two, and it was early on. I'm not going to criticise the guy for that. Who gives a fuck? So as the match progressed, there was plenty of ladder spots. Abyss with a barbed wire board. He actually gets it stuck on his face at one stage, and it looked brutal with a barbed. And RVD did a springboard kick into it, which actually booted it hard, and it smashed Abyss straight in the face, and it looked sick. Anyway, the only thing I would complain about this match, and it is a very, very small complaint, is was there really a need to have, you know, Janice up there? Because it wasn't used during the match, apart from Abyss swang for RVD and got it stuck in the turnbuckle, which led to the end, but it wasn't really used that much. So RVD, he does that, and I can't remember, and it was pissing me off when I was watching it, but he sat Abyss in one side of the ring, the corner, with the sheet of wood with barbed wire on his face like that. He got on the other side of the ring, went coast to coast with the chair and booted it in his face. I cannot for the life of me remember what he calls this move, and it really annoys me. He's got that many names, you know, the Van Terminator, the Van Assassinator, the Van Daminator, which I think is the Van Daminator is one where he throws it and kicks it, but I can't remember. So yeah, RVD retains in this match. Now, before I get on to the final segment with Hogan, my main, or what I would have liked to see in this match was a Bischoff heel turn and Abyss get the title. I didn't know until yesterday when I looked on news sites, not spoilers, news, that RVD was actually taking time off from TNA. So I just thought it would have made more sense to drop the belt to Abyss. Abyss has had a decent build, he could carry the title. Anyway, next, Hogan out for the surprise. He puts RVD over. He says, "I got justice, made TNA raise the bar, invites ECW guys to the ring, and then leaves." I have no problem with that. This is a modus operandi for Hulk Hogan. Keep it short, make sense, and fuck off. And that's all he needs to do, right? And anyway, Tommy Dreamer gets on the mic, says it was an honour to go one last time with the ECW guys to bleed and sweat with them. The lights go out. I love this. The lights go out and everyone's like, "Yay, Sandman, yay." The lights come on, Foley's laid out, and Fortune stood behind the ECW guys, weapons in hand, which leads on to a fucking brutal beatdown. It was brutal. Anyway, and this bit next made me laugh really badly, and I don't know why. But Raven come running out of the ring like he was going to make a save, and Cameron following all the way down, and you could just see Raven running down to the ring, and then it looked round, and I think it was James Storm with like a glass in his hand, and the minute Raven didn't break stride, he's still jogging, and James Storm just turns around and bangs his face and knocks him on his fucking ass. I just thought that was funny. But I also like what they did with Sandman. They made Sandman do the big entrance. As soon as he got in with his kendo stick walk at ice, they had Doug Williams jump him with his own kendo stick and was beating the crap out of him. And I loved it. And it was just like, it was emotional. Well, it wasn't emotional, but it was playing on people's emotions. People came out and everyone was thinking, "Oh, he's coming for the save, he's going to clean house." But no, he was cut off and then beat down as well. And then the next guy did the same. And it was great. And after through the brawl, Abyss comes down, pulls RVD out of the ring, takes him backstage. During this beatdown, Ric Flair also comes out to the ring, smiling and nodding. It gives you glimpses of the people's face, ECW guy's face. Devon has a sick cut above his eye. All the other guys are bloodied. It looked brutal. Ric Flair goes out to Dixon and says it's your fault. And then we pan backstage and I mean, look, before we start on this, no, Abyss didn't use the 2x4 with nails on RVD. No, RVD's not nearly dead. Does it matter? Not a bit. because wrestling on things like this is all about the imagery, right? It's all about the pictures speak 1,000 words, right? You don't need to know the ends of it. You don't need to know what RVD's poodle's name is. It's imagery, right? And this imagery was very, very powerful. One of the most powerful images I've seen in wrestling was RVD was laid out in a mass of blood, with blood all over him. Abyss stood over him screaming with a bloody Janice in his hand. You knew that, well, in the story, that Abyss has used it on him, and it looked sick, but it was so powerful, and oh, it was great. And anyway, that was the end of the show. I will add, the direction I wanted TNA to go, like I said, this is just a personal preference, right? Was Angle to lose to AJ with Fortune interfering, and then bloodying Kurt Angle, and then Fortune could have done what they did at the end, but the there was Hogan and Bischoff. Okay, or just Bischoff. Bischoff with the heel turn, and then it pans out in weeks to come that Hogan is down. He says, "Oh, I can't do anything." Eric's got in his contract, he's got percentage of TNA, he can do what he likes, and he's basically guilt tripping Dixie Carter into giving him more power. Right, and she gives him more power and more power until she's left with a smaller percentage, and then bang, Hulk Hogan turns and goes with Eric Bischoff, and then them two are there with Abyss, and Fortune aligned with Hogan and Eric Bischoff, and Dixie's left with minimal control and nowhere to go because they call the shots, and then she uses the EV 2.0 guys to get back at them. I would have thought that would have been a better angle to go, and it could still go this way. I mean, you try and read between the lines, but I shouldn't do because most of the time I make myself an idiot when I'll say my predictions. But it was Hogan that invited the EV 2.0 guys to the ring. He then left, leaving them open to attack. Right? Bischoff has been acting like this simpleton that comes to the ring going, "Oh, I love you guys." That is not Eric Bischoff. Anyone who's watched Eric Bischoff, that is not his main character. That is not what he's good at. He's good at being an asshole. So it gives you food for thought. Anyway, guys, this show was mind-blowing. I don't care if I get criticised for being a marketing. For wrestling, this was amazing. For storylines, this was amazing. This was just great in every aspect apart from the triple threat match. But I don't care. One mad match in 3 hours of pure brilliance and excellent entertainment. And I'm happy and I'm out. Thanks, guys. Subscribe, and I'll see you later.